Good day and welcome to the Barium Podcast. I'm Fully, and as always, we got Bubba and we got the Impaler. We are on episode number 18. Famous hockey player starts with 18. Bubba, go.
Rod the Bod Brindamore.
Impaler,
Well, I can't believe you didn't say Hyman. Isn't he 18?
Buster? Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah, there you go.
you're going with Buster Hyman.
Well, we've been talking about the Oilers all this time. I figured that Bubba was going to go 18, but there it is.
There it
18.
is. You've got the Edmonton earworm. It's infecting your brain.
How about you, Fully?
My favorite number 18 is either Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I can't even think of an 18, and I'm a numbers guy for that kind of shit. Who's a famous 8? Why can't I think of tons of 19s? Famous 18. Stanley Cup champions 18. Mark Messier. Is Dale talking?
No,
Nope.
I'm just listening.
I'm not picking an 18. Done with it.
All right,
done with it.
Fine. We're
Not bringing it up again.
Al
Sorry.
Arbor.
Who?
Al Arbor.
Al Arbor was 18?
Yep.
Huh. That's pretty cool. More known as a coach than a player, I imagine, though.
Absolutely.
What number was Ted Lindsay?
Not 18. He's not on the list.
No. 18's a tough one. There hasn't been that many 18s.
No. Even current guys like Beauvillier is 18, or he was when he played with the Islanders anyway.
Yeah.
Hyman's 18. That's like
Times 18, yeah.
Thanks, pro tips. Thanks, Howie Meeker. Anyways, okay, we're gonna move on. My stupidity is it can only go for so long before it is what it is. Okay, so we'll get into the podcast. Get into our week. Dale, anything you want to mention about your week?
Oh, my week?
Yeah, how was it?
It was a great week. Not a great week for my wife, though.
Oh.
I mean, it was great because she got on a business trip, went on the business trip, and they lost her luggage. Isn't that awesome? So she on the way home, though. So the good thing is she got home, but
yeah,
it's gone. Which sucks
Where was-
because, those bags you put in your bag, you don't even think about like, well, that's no big deal. Here, I'll just throw this in my bag and I'll get there when I get home. And then you don't get it. And now you're like, for ladies anyway, it's makeup and,
You never do that. You always put your essentials with you on the flight.
I know, right? I'm a carry-on guy.
Yeah. Whenever I pack to go on holidays, whatever's in that suitcase, I can buy wherever I get and not be upset about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, all the essentials. Where was she? Where was the business trip?
Kelowna or Kamloops, one of the two, for a labor relations course.
Ooh.
Yeah, how to deal with your union and your union employees.
You just don't.
Yeah, just ignore them.
Just don't.
That's a successful way to lead.
The last company I was with, we were part of a union, and it did nothing. It was brutal.
The union?
They were pretty ineffectual, yeah.
It's I think that like there was really a time for unions to be successful, and that time has faded because a lot of the I think big wins have already happened, right?
Yeah.
And then they got so powerful that they've become, especially in BC, like the NDP in a lot of ways is kind of like a union, not necessarily an arm of the union, but they come from and are steeped politically in defending labor and stuff.
They're the white sticky goo that comes out of the union's penis is what they are. The NDP.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I would not have said that. Ew.
It's truth, though.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I think that unions are. I mean, it's great that they're out there. I guess. I mean, it's great that.
Well, they served a purpose when they served a purpose when communication was a lot harder. If you're in city A and city B, it's tough. And the labor laws weren't as stringent back then. You didn't have a place to go complain. Like if you get fired because somebody doesn't like your work and you're tardy all the time, and you go in there and say, "Well, it's my eye color. I believe that's why I'm getting let go." they'll listen to that. You'll have to go through the process, but it is what it is. It's good and bad with any time you put layers of bureaucracy in anything. I'll just leave it at that. Bubba, anything you going on this week?
This week, well, I had to go to Edmonton for a quick funeral, which
Yeah,
that
good,
wasn't awesome
good
on its
times.
own, but did get to see the premiere of F1 in the IMAX theater, and
was that good?
it was fucking phenomenal if you're a race fan at all.
Oh yeah,
So good.
Well, I'm a pretty big Brad Pitt fan. He's pretty hot. Is he good in it?
I do find him attractive as men go.
Yeah, no, he's he's one of those ones. I think he blurs the line. Bradley.
Sure does.
Especially like when he's got the long hair, like Tristan in Legends of the Fall, riding the horse, coming over top of the ridge, bringing the stallions into the corral.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm there. I'm holding your hand right now.
Right?
While you're talking to me. Yeah.
Excellent. So other than that, Bubba, how F1? Like, what's it about?
Yeah,
F1 racing and a driver that comes back after being out of the sport for just about 20 years and has this pretty cocky young teammate that he's got to try to coach up. So,
there you go.
Oh, nothing extraordinary in the plot kind of shit, but the car shit was good and the acting was good.
The plot's decent. It's not horrible or anything. It's way better than some of the other movies that they've made around racing and F1 in particular.
Yeah.
Certainly a lot better than Driven was, which with Stallone and whatnot. Yeah. So,
I watched that Gran Turismo. I like that one.
I really liked Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I thought that was a great little
movie. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I think there's.
I didn't even know it was a movie. I just happened to come across it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll watch this." And then I was like, "Wow, I am like right into this right now." It caught me at the right time. I really liked it.
Well, I tried playing Gran Turismo when it came out, and then the evolution of the game, and it's seriously one of the hardest games to play. And I'm not a gamer, but like just getting the controls and how touchy it was, and watching it because based on a true story that the Sony or whatever, they actually put that out there, brought in gamers, and whichever one got to go, and then they hit Le Mans, which is Le Mans is especially back then in 70s, that was the biggest thing in racing was Le Mans, and did they actually win it? I didn't know if
they came like 4th or 5th. I just watched it actually.
Oh no, didn't they come in 3rd? Did they make the podium at Le Mans?
Yeah, they had to be within 6, and I think they made it. Yeah, they made it within 3 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. You're immortalized if you make the podium at Le Mans.
Yeah, I think don't they call it 24 hours of Le Mans or something? It's like a 24-hour race.
Yeah, 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah, 3 guys.
Like I remember going through Le Mans. It was tough.
Yeah.
Working on the breathing, making sure Jan wasn't panicking. It was fun. Don't know I have to make a movie about it though.
Okay. Funny thing about Le Mans classes, because we had our children. My wife was pregnant in a very remote part of British Columbia. They didn't have those kind of things where we were. So then when we went down and the baby was coming and we're in the hospital, Christian's not happy because she's in the throes of having a baby, and the nurse comes in and says, "Okay, well, you should be doing the breathing and stuff." And I said to her, we didn't do any of that because we didn't have that where we lived. And she kind of gives me this sour look and walks out. And then like maybe 15 minutes later, I'm coming out of the bathroom and she's talking to another nurse, and I hear her say, "Oh, there's a couple in room, whatever. They don't have any idea what they're doing." And I'm like, "You suck so much right now. That's not what I need to hear." I'm panicking.
Well, it doesn't matter because we went through the breathing training or exercise or whatever that is, but that's like putting 5 people in a room and tell them to play Monopoly and learn the rules and just throw a hand grenade in there. It blows everything up and nobody gives a shit anyways. It's just a lot of screaming, panic, and blood. Le Mans doesn't help.
Well, that makes me feel better. Thanks. Basically, it's training you to do something, but when the emergency happens, all of that shit don't fuck off.
That's right. It just So it's everybody finds Jesus in a foxhole type thing, right?
Got it.
But that's it, Bubs, for the week, or anything else?
That's about it for the week, man. Just after that, we're into hockey stuff. So
perfect. My week was pretty good. The grad chaos is over, so that was it was fun to get through. Got one left to go through it, and can't wait. Did a little golfing. Didn't do very good at that. Kind of let my team down last night and men's night. Mike Harris and Link came out with us, and Willie. And Mike plays golf once or twice a year, and pretty much carried our team. Probably saved us on 4 drives. Chipped really well. Had a couple, you only play golf once or twice a year, but yeah, no, he was probably our best golfer, and then Will, and then Link didn't do much either. He was kind of a bag of shit, but I was probably the biggest bag of shit last night. Couldn't get off the tee box. All my chips were short. My putting was atrocious. So a normal game for me. Pretty good. But other than that, not much else other than the other night I rewatched Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I have not watched that in a while.
It is one of the best movies, and I forget and I watch about every 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, why don't I? This is the best movie ever, and then I forget about it. But you seen that movie, Bubba?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
With Leonardo, pretty good. I think one of the best scenes in any movie I've ever seen is when they're in the boardroom talking about the midget toss. And they're going through what you can and can't do, and they're dead serious when they're talking about it. Like the one guy's like, don't look him in the eyes. Look at his chin. You don't fuck around with those midgets. I thought it was hilarious. And McConaughey, that part in the restaurant, like he improvised most of that shit. Like, how do you beat that?
Yeah.
The song, and it gets pretty it's a little long. I think, half an hour less, but I think it's one of my favorite movies. And I say that, and I forget about it. And then I'll watch it in 4 years. I'm like, that movie's so awesome.
That's funny.
But it was good, Kate. Well, that's our weekly wrap up for the personal shit that nobody else but us cares about. So that's good. At least we get to talk to each other. Dale being far away, we don't get to hang out as much.
It's true.
But it is what it is. So what we're going to talk about today, I think, since the year's done, Stanley Cup's done, draft day's today. Other than the first overall, the draft to me is a little crazy. So I don't even know that much about it. I've been trying to catch up on it, but even the experts that are talking about it, it's going to be a fucking dog's breakfast after one. Who knows who's going where type of shit and which teams need which. So I think we can talk more about the draft next week once
it's over and done with.
Once it's over and done with. So I proposed today. I text you guys, like what I think we should go over our team last year, a little bit of highlights, lowlights, and then what you think the team needs to do to be better than they were last year. Other than Bubba, he's the only one that can be better to win the cup. Dale and my two team, or our two teams, is just what can we do not to be in the basement type shit. So
what would it look like to make the playoff?
Right? Wow. It's a fucking long tunnel. You can't even see the light at the end of it right now, I don't think.
Well,
we'll get more at ours. Do you want to kick it off, Dale, with how your team did last year, good and bad, and what you think they need to do this year, next year?
I think I've beat up the Swedish national team a fair amount over the course of the last little while. You know what? They got close, which is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades to get it to playoffs. They pulled off some amazing games there at the end. That one game where they broke an NHL record in scoring the most number of goals in like a minute or something. That was impressive, and which showed that they had grit, which I thought was great. So that's the good thing. You could see it. I will also highlight that in that game where they showed that grit, if you looked at the roster that played, a lot of those folks were actually like people they pulled up from the AHL team, which I also want to highlight that they won the Calder Cup this year, the Abbotsford Canucks.
Absolutely.
And so and who was in the starring player? Silovs, right? Artur Silovs as in goal, who also won AHL playoff player this year. So I mean, there's this kernel of greatness a half a step behind, which is different than playing in the big show, I know, but they've got something there, which is really cool. So that's that, like there's a farm system, I guess, that is working potentially, and there's some great guys that came up, like Lettermacki came up and down, Ratu was up and down. So they had some guys that came up that you're like, oh yeah, all right, maybe not right now, but they're there. But man, the top six, Jesus Christ. Like they brought in Heedle for what, 4.5, 5 million? Lasted like 5 minutes and then got an owie. Pedersen, I don't want to talk about him anymore. There are some good Pedersens on that team. It's just not the one that's on the top six. Getting rid of Besser, yeah, I mean, you had to, I guess. The whole drama piece that happened, I just, yeah, kind of an epic fail. Losing their coach, who obviously ran for family reasons. So yeah, not a great season.
Big air quotes on the family reasons.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What were his family reasons?
Don't want to deal with the Aquilinis. I think that's the family that owns the Canucks. Maybe that's the family reason.
Oh, that would be the family reason.
Yeah.
So, well, we wouldn't be or for next year, what do they got to do to be better? Like what?
Well,
what do you see?
Big moves already happening, right? So they just got Kane.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know I was texting my feelings on that. I have to say that I've given myself 24 hours, and there's a couple of positives that I need to throw out there. Yeah, when healthy, he's a 30 goal guy, right? 25, I think, 26 goals a season, sort of deal. So that's good. He's solid in the role that he plays. He can be in the top six for sure if he's healthy. He's from Vancouver, so that's actually kind of a win, right? Like you're thinking about fan service and all that kind of stuff, right? The local boy comes back, and if he gets on a roll and plays some good hockey, scores some goals, and he's in the top of the team, kind of deal. That's gonna matter locally. So that's good. He's expensive, but he's only for 1 year, so that's not terrible as well. And you know what? Maybe he really wants to. Like maybe he's coming here and he's going to be super motivated to show the world that he's a good player and needs to be there. I hope he hits people in the face less. That would be good.
Okay. That being said, it's not Bubba's turn yet, but I think Bubba should say something. It was his team that pretty much gave him away for a flint and a couple bags of wood. So start a
fire. And they dropped $7.5 million on their salary cap, so that puts a benefit in their pocket.
100%, but I think it just that. What Bubba talk about? What do you think of trade, Bub?
It was a good serviceable player. It's not like they're getting nothing in Vancouver out of this. They're getting a player who, I mean, let's face it, looking at their lineup, is going to be slotted into right winger number 1.
Yeah, yes.
And big gritty guy who's I actually like as a player. Yeah, he had some trouble taking some undisciplined penalties in the finals, but the 3 rounds before that he was great, and it gives them something that might help them get to the playoffs next year. And in all fairness to anything else, without a trade like this, I would have put their chances at making the playoffs next year right around 0 otherwise.
Yeah, see, I don't think he's an impact player at all. Like at all. I think he needs to have he's a 25, 30 goal guy if he's got McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins type players with him. He barely creates on his own. And when he does play the game he should play, he's effective. But then I think his character is the biggest problem with that cat. Last was it 2 games of the final, Bubba? He got demoted, and then he actually got sat because he took undisciplined penalties.
Absolutely.
And then he was absolutely non-existent. You could tell he was pouting. They were talking about it on the broadcast, his body language. He's doing the thing while that 8-year-old kid on the bench going, yeah, they lost because I'm not out there, and they find satisfaction in that somehow. And I think that talks to Kane's character. He was talking about it on his interview, talking about character and what makes character, and it was all about just bouncing back from being a degenerate. So, whatever. Whoever likes Kane likes him. Never been a big fan, and I think he's a detriment to your team, Dale, especially a team that's looking for leadership and doesn't have strong leadership. So he'll probably step into the role as a leader, and that's going to be a guy that you're to. And yeah, it's going to be what it is. Just keep coming in Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce. That's what's important for that guy. Making sure there's enough cameras around him, taking good angles of walking into the rink.
Good selfies. Yeah, I'm not happy about the trade. I'll be honest. I don't think it's good. I think it's a big win for the Oilers.
100% it is.
And it makes me wonder if leadership at the Canucks were like, let's see if we can make a Canadian team win the cup next year. So there you go, Bubba. That's a gift.
You guys think that, like Bubba was talking about, Vancouver making the playoffs next year is just, it's not in the cards. And then bringing Kane in, I don't think that helps. I don't know where, especially if you're a team like that who's got an identity crisis and you're already considered soft. Like you said, Dale, they started playing with some grit right at the end, but it's too late by then. And they're, it's guys trying to make the lineup so for next year. So they are going to play way harder and more grittier. But that team was baby poo all year, like just soft. And Kane is a guy who can come in.
Yeah.
And make the team not as soft, but at what price?
Yeah.
He wasn't obviously this year with injuries and stuff, but in the playoffs, he wasn't intimidating anybody. Kachuk was laughing at him the whole freaking series, giggling. Yeah. That's got to kill a guy. You can't have a tough guy or a supposed intimidator being laughed at by one of the stars of the other team and nothing happens. Sure, right at the end he goes a little bit sideways, but he could have impacted that series right when he got put on the third or fourth line when okay, I'm going to get minimal ice here. Probably not going to score a goal. I'm going to go out there and fuck somebody up. He didn't do that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just me.
Well,
anything else you want to talk about your glorious
I want to walk through a few things because I think there's a rumor out there that Matt Barzal trading for New York, and then New York gets Elias Pettersson. I don't know if that's true. I read that this morning. Who knows? Doubt it's going to happen, but that's a rumor.
Barzal's one of the most gifted guys in the league. Like he is. Vancouver, if they get Barzal and they just got to give up EP for it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. In an absolute heartbeat. It wouldn't even be a decision.
I know.
There's got to be draft picks involved in that too, though.
Yeah.
I'm mad. There has to be. Well, there was with the Kane trade too, wasn't it? Fourth or something?
Yeah, we got a fourth out of it.
Yep.
I think Edmonton did great. Retained zero salary, got a couple draft picks, and got rid of a cancer.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a win all around. Okay, I want to get off that though. I want to talk about top six. So think about top six, and I'm putting Lettermacky in there, and like Lettermacky just, he's coming up to do that, but he showed in the last part of last year that he deserves to be there. So I'd see Lettermacky, Ito, Garland, because they just extended Garland for 6 years, which I don't, I guess, but I don't see him as worth that $36 million over 6 years, but sure, I guess. Good for Garland. And like I said, I've always liked Garland, so there's that. But I thought that was a lot for who he is. And then there's DeBrusk, Peterson, and Kane. So that's your top six likely for next year. I think that's not going to make the playoffs. But I don't know. Like maybe Peterson has a whole other year. Like maybe Peterson just shows up and is amazing all over the place, right? You know what? Ratu on the third line. Maybe Ratu, something happens with that kid. I don't know. Anyway, I'm dreaming. Hughes could have another 300-point year, and we could make the playoffs.
That's the only one I would bank on, right? Like. You got to think Hughes being a captain of that fucking dog's breakfast and be like, feel so bad for the kid and still plays. Like,
Oh, he plays with his heart out there, everywhere to see it. It's unbelievable. So good. It's so funny though that like the team is pinning its scoring chances and its successes on a fucking defenseman.
Hey,
Like, wow,
he's pretty good though.
he is really good. So good. So yeah. Oh, my summary is the Canucks next year are gonna. I don't know if they'll come out strong. I'm interested to see how the draft's gonna go. I'm also interested to see how they're gonna pick from the, you know, from what they've got at the in the Abbotsford Canucks, because they've been doing that, picking guys up and bringing them back and forth a few times. So maybe they do something there. New coach is interesting. Adam Foote. I know nothing about him other than he played back in the day. Don't know what he'll be like as a coach. And you know what? Maybe there's a whole different culture that shows up. We won't know. So I think that their chances are low. But you know what? 2 years ago, we thought their chances were low, and weird magic happened, and there they were. So
I don't think so. I think even 2 years ago, we are talking when Taka got there at the end of the year, what a culture change it was and how good
that's right.
they were. And I told you that next year, I said, they're going to do more than just make the playoffs before, and then they win the division. Right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I don't know how you go from having a team that, and remember, I'm telling you, they're actually fun to watch. Forecheck, they're a talk type team. They forechecked hard. Pot Colson was there. The other kid was there. That's still there now. The new, young one, whatever his name was, but it looked like it was shifting. And then, whatever happened, and it sucks. It was a fun team to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's me.
That's the Vancouver Canucks right there. Let's move over to the Edmonton Oilers. Bubba, what did you like about last year? What do you think some of the downfalls were? And what's the plan for next year?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, guys, the biggest downfall they had was injuries. I mean, losing Hyman in the finals really kind of hurt them. That's another guy that could have really been really helpful to have against a team like Florida.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do I think their team was perfect? No. I think it showed that their third line especially was really fucking outmatched. I think that's where we need to go for next year. I mean, they already started, dumped Kane. Looking like they're going to be dumping Arvidsson as well. Free up some cap space.
Arvidsson wants out.
That they want to dump him, but yes, he had waived his no trade at the trade deadline, but whatever the deal was fell through. So
yeah, you don't want a Stanley Cup champion that works really hard on that team.
You don't want you don't need Arvidsson. It's a whole lot of exactly what we have already, which are a bunch of guys that are underperforming. So,
what did you like?
What did I like? I liked that our defense as a whole was better. Other than a couple of mistakes here and there by Mr. Bouchard, more than anybody. Like I heard them say, our goaltending was solid. They made the saves they were supposed to make, but just didn't make those extra ones that you need them to make in order to make it to the next round, or to get past Florida. So, I liked the addition of Wallman over the season. I thought that was a great pickup. I thought he played pretty well in most of it. One game where he got thrown off his game pretty badly in the finals, but I thought the rest of it was very positive. Yeah, so looking forward, I think the biggest things we need to do is shore up that third line, get some guys re-signed, get an extension into, McJesus himself, and try to improve our goaltending as a whole. And I mean, maybe Vancouver's going to do us a fucking gift service here and give us Demko for very little. You know, that's what they've been looking like they've been going to do.
Okay, so seriously, like we're going to take off your cast-offs and give you our goalie. I mean, you know what, though?
I'll tell you what.
They have not closed the deal with him.
Everybody and their dog is talking about that right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it just comes down to Edmonton being willing to take the risk on his injury status and Vancouver be looking towards the future and having Lankinen and Svilos in that. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Does Bubba, with that trade, does Edmonton trade Skinner across, or do they trade other stuff across?
Well, I think that really depends, but I think realistically, it's Pickard that's going to go down the road with it, and
nobody wants
to be other pieces. So
nobody's trading for Pickard.
Hey, I'm just saying what I was reading and what they've been talking about. That nobody is keen on getting rid of a goalie that's had 50 starts in the Stanley Cup or in the playoffs now. Has been to the finals 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You know, and he's only 26, and frankly, goalies get better from the 26 point to 30 point or 30-year-old age bracket. They don't typically get worse.
So, you know, everybody talks about, you know, how the Oilers, especially McDavid, Draisaitl, have confidence in Skinner and all that. What do you think his comments were by keep doing the same thing? You know, that definition of crazy. Keep doing the same thing, especially for result.
That's why there has to be.
But what do you think he's talking about? What do you think he's specifically talking about? Who do you think he's specifically?
Oh, third line. There's no question. The third line was absolutely ineffectual.
So both years, the third line cost him the series?
This year,
that's what he means by but that's what he means by doing the same thing and beating your head against the wall. That means there was something happened in the first series loss and then the second series loss. So what is the common denominator between those?
It's goaltending.
There you go.
There you go. And they have to make an upgrade there. And I just look at it and I go, of the goalies available that are definitely better than Stu, after you go outside of Demko, who is definitely an upgrade if he can be healthy. You know, the next one is maybe Gibson.
I would take.
You know,
I'm just saying if I'm McDavid and I go back there and I see Stuart Skinner in the net,
I think
I'm losing my mind.
I wonder why you're there.
I think the biggest talk right now is that he's going to back up next year for whoever they bring in.
Well, see, I could see. I mean, I don't want Demko to go, but at the same time, with the Oilers, you could play Demko light, keep Pickard, and you know, and then you get to the playoffs and you've got Demko healthy.
And you know, Pickard's won in the playoffs. Pickard's never going to start. He's not that guy, but you put him in a short situation. I think Dale. I think you're thinking way better because you can't have Skinner now relegated to a backup role. You give him another chance on another team to go.
I'm only talking about what the talk is around the league. I'm not talking about what I think.
All the talk I've heard around the league is Skinner's got to go. That's all I've heard.
And that's not what I'm hearing from everybody. But.
Well, I'm watching the Japanese stations, which are probably a lot better than you're watching. So
yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Be careful what you're saying.
I do nothing but Croat news.
Croat.
So yeah, it's 100% Croat news. It's really, really informative.
I've been listening to this. It's hard to get, but it's from the Himalayas, and it's called Sherpa Sports. So it's all these Sherpas get around, and they talk about all sports. How well rounded they are is absolutely amazing.
It's amazing. You know what?
They go from cricket to sailing right to hockey, and each one they seem very well informed. So I'll take my news from there, Bubba.
Yep, you do what you do. Anyway,
the SSN network, Sherpa Sports Now.
Yeah, it's right after the Ocho.
The Ocho. So, other moves made. that Fredericks got his 8-year, $3.65 million contract. Don't think that's terrible.
I think that's like we talked about before. You know what you're getting. He's just got to familiarize that place, find his spot.
Exactly, and if he rounds back out into that 20 to 25 goal bracket, that's a good deal for the team. So,
well, all he's got to do is just again, he came off of injury, playoffs. Who knows how effective he could be? But I've seen him at Boston lots.
He was good.
He's an effective guy. Now you put an effective guy on with probably the most potent, duo that's played the game, and he's only going to go up from there. He should be a guy where Kane was on that line. Now this is line. Maybe not a powder will do the things for the game, not the TV, and make a difference. I think they'll give him an opportunity with the top 6.
I think you're probably right, and in that role, he's gonna earn all that money of his for sure. So
I think, plus he's a kid, and he's already got the dog in him, so to speak, right?
Yeah, he's got that hunger.
Yeah, and that's what you pay a little extra for on the side.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're paying 3.85 for a top 4 winger, that's not an overpayment. So,
well, especially with it going up, imagine that deal, and the kid is getting 22 goals, and you're paying that.
Oh, like
that's
said,
good. That's gonna be a role player fucking money.
He rounds into 25 goals a year, averaging. Everybody's looking at that 2 years down the road and going, "Wow."
Well, he's got one of the best contracts ever because he plays both ends of the ice. Is tough and
exactly
put pucks in the net. I think he's gonna, like I said, I think his chances of getting a bunch more goals are better, but time will tell with him. But I think it's a great signing. I think there's only a plus side for that.
And so, I mean, now we're just down to the rest of the free agent signings and what goes on, and see how the rest of this rounds out as to where we go from here. But
what kind of deal do you think McJesus takes? Because he's going to sign. I jest and say he's going here, going there, but he's going to
sign.
But what does the deal look like? Do you think he goes long term? Do you think he goes, you know what, fuck it, give me a couple, give me 3? I know what the window is here.
I know what I want to see. I want to see an 8-year deal.
Well, who doesn't?
But
8 years.
I think,
wow, that's a revelation. I want to see McDavid for another 8. The best player on the planet. I want to see for.
I know, but
what do you think realistically?
I think realistically, it's a 3 or 4 year deal, probably 4, 14.5, somewhere in that bracket. Because at the end of 4 years, even if he re-signs with the Oilers, he can then sign for more money again because of the salary cap rising.
Yeah, see, I think that's close.
Oh,
I think
he'll open it up after the salary cap rise. That's on.
I think it's going to be something crazy. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be 2 years, and for some of the reasons you just said, 8 in 2 years, he's going to know if the organization is with him. 2 years, he's still going to be the best player on the planet. He's going to take a hometown discount for these 2 years. He's going to tell the Oilers, look, I'm going to, I don't need to be the highest paid player. I'm going to leave some money on the table to help me get one of the fucking cups because he's going to be the richest player that's ever played this game at the end of the day. Doesn't care about that. But the fucker, like he says, he's got to win. So I think he knows with Edmonton, you're playing beside one of the next best players ever. And you actually have a team, like you said, their defense got better. I honestly don't think the coaching's that great there. I don't think they made any adjustments when shit got tough. So whatever happens there, happens there. But I think he can go reasonably and say, I'm going to take, $3 million less because $3 million can get you, at the deadline, either, half a salary and you take a $6 million guy on, which is you need for the playoffs, but he's going to give them money to help them win. And he'll do it for 2 years because then he knows his payday's coming and whatever he's got to do. And he'll know if the Oilers are serious about meeting his expectations. So I think that's what I took out of that. Him talking is they need to be in line to how he feels. And I believe he's probably had lots of influence with everything that's going on that team. Maybe he's asking for bring somebody in more at the management level that has a better understanding of this game, knows how to put a team together, knows how to make sure a coaching staff is doing the right thing.
Well,
I don't know, but
I'll tell you what. I mean, I look at the moves Stan Bowman made after he joined the team, and I think that's a lot better than the rest of what happened in the last offseason, where he wasn't before he was the GM.
So who was the GM when they let Holloway, McLeod, and the defenseman go? Who was? I don't know. I'm not.
That was the team president.
But who was the GM at the time?
There wasn't a GM at the time.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it was McDavid's agent. That's the team president now.
Oh, that's even better.
I know, right?
Right.
He's the team president.
Just hey, there's no nepotism in Edmonton, I guess.
No. That's a perfectly well-rounded team that is looking out for every single member of it to try and perform as best as possible.
You know what's even going to be better next year is McDavid's wife gets announced as president of player personnel.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or head trainer.
Yeah, she'll be the Yoko Oko of the Edmonton.
Yoko Oko.
Fuck.
There you go. That makes total sense. That's exactly right.
Bubba wish list. 2 things you think Edmonton needs to get over the hump, because, like you said, they were the second best team. I think they're at least the third. I thought the West, for how much everybody built them up, and it was not near as physical hockey as the East. Was dogfights every time. Even with Toronto. Toronto was tougher. The back end was tougher. Their forwards, other than, an exceptional few, weren't tough. But I thought the East was a way tougher battle to get out of than the West. So what do you think are 2 things that are going to improve your team? Wish list, 2 players, go.
Oh. Like I said, it comes down third line, needs some physical fucking guys that can be more like Perry, another guy like him, if you could even find that guy. But I mean, there are guys. I just really don't know who they can target.
Oh, not target. I'm just saying wish list. You can grab anybody out of the NHL and bring them over to your team to make a Stanley Cup champion. Who would you take?
I'd put Bennett on that team in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, okay. So you got the Conn Smythe winner. Good. So that's 1. Who else?
Oh, God. I don't even want to say it.
Got to.
Brad Marchand.
So again, you're going to take Bennett and Brad Marchand, but you're not going to take Bobrovsky. I wouldn't need Bennett I wouldn't need Bennett or Marchand on that team if I had Bobrovsky on that team.
Yeah.
That Oiler team.
And I mean, there's lots of goalies I could pick at.
But it's just funny. You love the Stuart Skinner. You just got to say it. You got to admit it.
No, I don't.
You just had a wish list to pick the best goalie in the league, and that wasn't who you
because
picked.
I think they're going to find somebody that's good enough to play there.
But that's not what the exercise was about.
Well, fine. Fine. Then if I'm picking anybody, it's either going to be Bobrovsky or Shesterkin. Either one of those guys makes the back end way better.
I didn't mean to bully you into that, but it's like, you're taking a second and third line guy when you got the best.
I'm just looking at what I know that they're going to do and trying to fill the other holes.
Yeah,
I know that they're going to find somebody that's going to be at least better goaltending, and I mean, there's 3 or 4 options. All have to be trades. Figure it out.
Okay, Dale, I'm going to ask you the same question because I didn't ask you. If you could have any 2 players to help your team, who would they be?
Well, I mean, I'd like Draisaitl and McDavid. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's the best answer you could say. Yeah. You can either say
I'm gonna keep Demko, and I get those 2, and I get Hughes too. Holy fucking Jesus!
A close second for me would be Barkov and Reinhart, just because they're winners.
Yeah,
they both put up amazing points, and they're both Selke winner or Selke runner up. So you got the two. To me, it'd be so tough because you got the Nuclear Brothers and you got the best hockey players. I think they're much better hockey players because I think you got to play the whole game, not just eyes forward. But with their talent, it's tough. I'll make it easy for the Calgary Flames. The two people I would pick to ensure that the team was better would probably be Barkov and McDavid.
Yeah, Barkov.
It's pretty hard to argue. Yep.
Love Draisaitl, but I just think you got the best 1-2 center that's probably been on any team other than maybe Ronnie Francis and maybe Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like that'd be a dynamic.
Be pretty deep.
Anything else on the Oilers?
No, I think we're just really trying to hope they don't overpay too badly for Bouchard because I don't think that's.
Yeah. It's such a tough one, right? He's such an anomaly.
He is, and how do you compare him to anybody? I mean, I love the offensive things he does. I hate his defensive game most of the time. In all fairness, though, I mean, without Ekholm in the lineup, here he was out killing penalties and not doing a terrible job. I mean, not doing a great job, but throw him into a role that he doesn't have any fucking part doing, and he's doing it at a relatively effective level. And I say relatively because he's not a defensive guy, but
look at him. He's like the Forrest Gump of hockey players. It's like do everything works out.
Yeah.
Do everything works out. Like he looks so lackadaisical out there. It's tough to watch. But all of a sudden he's sniping a 130-foot pass right on the tape of somebody, and
exactly
whichever ways, and his eyes go both ways. So maybe that's his key. He's like a spider that has eyes that can look in all directions. Like maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I don't know either. But that's the biggest thing with them is I just don't want to see them overpaying him. And
they're gonna have to.
I know.
Realistic. With his numbers,
and if they don't,
there's
going to be an offer sheet, and somebody else will because people are stupid.
I think that's the one you don't throw away the problem, you fix a problem, and I think the biggest thing with that is they got to find a D partner.
Got to have a steady D partner for him that can, I mean, put that guy with Aaron Ekblad. Pretty. Things probably look a little better.
Him Forsling, imagine that pair.
That too, yeah. I was literally going off guys that are full bore free agents, but
yeah, we'll talk about that next week too. We're gonna get into that, the free agent stuff, and because there's gonna be a ton of movement here in the next little bit. So we'll recap it more than Well,
there'll be trades tonight. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always trades on draft night, and then there'll be stuff happen, of course, January or July 1. So,
yeah. Well, anything else on your beautiful Coilers?
Oh, I think that's everything there is to talk about with them for now. So, what about your Flames?
What's going on
with
the
Calgary Shames?
You mean God's team?
I mean, you heard about that fire in Calgary, eh?
No, I didn't.
Was it the golf course? There was flames all over it.
Yeah, shut up. You shut your mouth. You shut up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a while since I got to talk about God's team. So, like I said, I'll follow the same format. What was hard last year is Wolf gives our team a chance to win every game, and that means we're going to be mediocre team around them to get to that next level. But we'll talk about in the positives. But I think that's a hard one. I think
let's be honest here. That's been an issue with the Flames when they haven't made it. They've either just missing out on the playoffs or just making the playoffs and screwing themselves out of a decent draft pick.
Absolutely. And that's what sucks is Wolfie's going to do that, right? Yep. He's going to. It was funny listening to the Chicklets, and they're talking about Ross, and they're like, "Well, what other goalie could beat him in playoffs, right?" And then I think Whitty said Vasilevsky, And Biz jumped on it right away. He's like, well, beat him 5-1, Vasilevsky. So there's a little pause, and then Biz, the hockey genius that he is, he's Wolf. Dustin Wolf will beat that guy. I'm like, yeah, see, a lot of things I don't, not a lot, but the odd thing Biz says, it comes out of his mouth.
Hey.
To get clicks and to be who he is. But the odd time, the guy has some wisdom. Simpson.
Yeah.
When he just starts spouting stuff off that's, genius, but he has no idea how he's doing it.
Hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's right. It's fucking right. So, that I think that's kind of a negative for us right now because we're a team that's rebuilding. The Rasmus inevitable trade, I think that's going to come up. And I was pretty hard on Ras at the end of the year, but didn't find out or didn't know that he's playing with a broken bone. So totally understandable. It's a little tougher to play the game when you're at 100%. The one thing about last year, though, the Flames had the highest point total in the NHL without making the playoffs.
Yeah, the closest team is shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, like I said, they were speculated to go bottom 3, right?
No, I agree. They absolutely outplayed their expectations. There's no two ways about that.
Where I never said that. I said you don't have a team that has that kind of, even with Backlund, that core and that defense. It should have been better than it was the year before. I thought they'd be fine. I didn't think they'd be tender by now. Didn't even think bottom 3.
No, and if I'm being honest, I didn't think they were going to end up in the bottom 3 either. But
no,
even if they'd have had to run Vladar all year, not Wolf, they'd have still not ended up bottom 3.
I think they'd be in the top 5 draft choices, and that's not against Vladar.
I think they'd I think they'd have moved up. I think they'd have gone 7th, 8th, and then gotten lucky, and might have gotten lucky and moved up into the 5th slot or the 4th slot on lottery, but they wouldn't have been a bottom 3. So
no, and I think their lack of depth at center last year, that was tough. Well, they had holes all over the place, but center was tough for that team. They tried the young kids in there. Some did well. I think some are going to get another chance this year, but that hurt.
Zari's injuries hurt him too.
Yeah, really bad. Backlund barely could do anything. Zary, feel nothing but pain for that kid. Mantha at the start of the year, like he could have been a 25-year-old or 25-year-old, 25-goal guy, and they lost the most games by 1 goal. Yeah. So just even take half those goals, give even a quarter of those goals to game winners. They're in the playoffs.
Well, and it's the same with the ties, though. Look how many ties they had last year, too.
Yeah.
You put anybody who's getting another 15 goals, all of a sudden you've got more wins because of how close those how many ties they had. And you drop those goals into some of the overtime or whatever. That's all they needed. And I mean, that's the same for the Canucks too. There's so many ties.
Well, I think that's enough negative talk about the Flames because they really don't deserve it. They were probably the beacon of hope for the NHL. So we'll just leave it at that. Positives. I think the biggest positive, which is our biggest negative, is that Wolf gives us a chance to win every.
I agree. He does. He does give you a chance to win every night.
Right. I bring my buddy Frank the Tank Lorraine into this. He's a non-believer. He thinks that Wolf is a flash in the pan. He ain't going to be able to sustain it. I think anybody who's done it consistently throughout each phase of their career, no matter, obviously, every jump is harder than the one before it. And, you can go from high school to college to minor pro to the NHL. Every jump is tougher, but what he's done in every single one of those leagues has been the best player.
Well, and I think, and on top of that, you just look at how he was in the net. He wasn't jumping around, fucking scrambling for shit all the time. yes, he fought for pucks, but he was sound goaltending, sound technically. And that's what did most of his work for him.
When he first came, he played those 7 games at the end of the year, and it didn't go. That's was doing the exact opposite of what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was chasing pucks, and he was bound.
Yes, heels outside the post, too far out in his net, and there's no surprise. He's not the biggest guy, but what he does do, I think, as good as any goaltender I've watched, is read plays. He's always anticipating, and it's going to burn him sometimes because sometimes the guy's better at faking you than you are at anticipating. So he's going to get burned the odd time by elite players. But for the most part, the guys in that league, you know what's going to happen. And I think he is one of the best goalies I've ever seen that anticipates it, square to the puck. So many pucks hit him between the shoulder and the belly button.
Yeah.
He's not making big saves. He can make but his ability to go side to side, back, front, move controlled. Like a lot of goalies can move fast, but a lot of goalies don't move controlled. That son of a bitch, you could see him. He's up. His shoulders are in the right spot. His torso's just following, and he's stable.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. As much power as you got to get across, as much power as you got to stop. And I don't want to get into physics, but I think his mental game is his biggest strength, and his athletic ability second. But that is a huge positive going forward. I think another huge positive is the GM, Conroy. With Farabee and the Philadelphia guys coming over and happy to be here, and just when guys get moved, they're always going to say the right things going to the next team, but they were saying things that made headlines about how well they were treated, the class of the organization. Everybody knows Calgary's a fun city. If you're not by a beach or an ocean, you're in the mountains. But I think Conroy's brought an ethos to that organization. It's not the destination to play, but there's might be the odd guy that takes him off the no trade list now, which I think is a big deal.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to comment on it. It was nothing.
I don't know if I agree.
How's the dead air?
I think Conroy does add a stabilizing aspect to what he's done. I don't know that he's done anything world beating at all by this point, and I don't know that he's moved the needle that far. But he certainly made it. He certainly has moved the needle, and for the better. So,
that came into the hugest shit show ever. Goudreau didn't want to play here. Kachuk didn't want to play here. They get fucking Huberto here.
I don't disagree.
And they turned the team that's supposed to be in the bottom 3, and with the moves he's made him, like I said, one win away from making the playoffs.
I know, but he hasn't.
I think that's huge.
He hasn't gotten a top 50 player to say, yes, I want to come play here yet. If he does that, my opinion changes. Until then, a top 50 player. Farabee and Frost aren't top 50 players. They're not top 100 players.
Not even close.
They're not even top 100s. So,
nope.
And don't get me wrong. I think it's great. He's definitely got the needle moving in the right direction, and he does need to continue to do that. But I'm not going to pat him on the back too hard yet until he does something a little more than what he's done. Let's put it that way.
So this will move into the next big positive. I think Calgary right now is young, dumb, and full of cum. I think they're ready to start getting shit done. You got guys like Coronado just got signed, which is a great deal.
Yeah,
great deal for both. You got, I think, one blue chipper for sure in Parak, and then Burakovsky. I think you got a guy that's going to play, good minutes in the NHL, and they're both puck-moving guys, skating guys, which is going to be great. They signed Adam Klapka, who just needed a little bit of time, put on the right thing when you're 6, whatever, 7 feet tall, whatever he is.
6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah,
and he can skate, and he's got great hands. He reminds me when we were up here for the under-18s and I think it was a Slovakian team. They had a guy with like a full beard. He was like 6 whatever, past 6'5", and he looked like he was 38 years old. And he's out there playing with the under 18s. I thought it was hilarious. But I think that's where Clapton kind of comes in. They say he's that age. I think he's really like 29, 30, Bubba.
He just doesn't. Someone cheated on his passport.
Yeah. Well, I think it happens the odd time from the. Well, it used to be the block countries, but now.
Right.
Not.
Yeah.
I also love Ball. I thought New Jersey was deep in defensive talent. He comes over here, had one of the best stats, was stick on pucks. He was one of the best at it. Plus, he's got a 9-foot stick, so it helps. I think Frost Farabee, like any trades, can take him a little bit to get going, but you saw certain things in those guys that they're going to be better than they were last year. So I think those are the positives going forward. What we need, we need a new rink, and it's coming. That's huge for the team. We need to make really good choices in the draft because Calgary's got a bunch of early picks in the next 2 years, and they have to use them properly. And you need like whoever drafted for Detroit when they got Zetterberg and Datsuk. Those are the guys you got to find those guys that somebody sees something in them because they're not getting draft picks high enough to get the blue chippers. They got to find somebody who they see something that, you're a third, fourth round guy, but you turn after 3 or 4 years, which is going to be Calgary's wheelhouse into something that's special. Yeah. I think that's on the wish list. And I wish they play the young kids even more next year. Because the old boys, the Colemans, Backlunds, the Kadris, the Hubertos, they're the backbone of that team. But I think the more you play the young kids, especially when you're developing and your expectations are low, just plays dividends 3-4 years down the road for homegrown guys, for your organization that bleed your colors, that have had the hard times and good times together. When they get to that next level, those are the ones that bring home the hardware.
Well, we'll find out. I'm interested to see how the draft goes, because who picks who and what that looks like, and what people think that's going to mean, as well as the trades that are going to happen and where all those players that have the opportunity to move can move to, what that looks like as we march in towards September. Because things are already happening. There's lots of things on the table. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Did you chat? What is that called?
Chat GPT it?
Did you just do that? Did you go, what is what's a bad commentator on Sportsnet?
Bonnaroo?
Just pick one. No, Bonnaroo going to the Hockey Hall of Fame. We got to give her some grace now.
No.
The girl.
She's going to the Hall of Fame as a player, which
Hockey Hall of Fame.
I have no problem giving her props for that. As a commentator, though, she's fucking awful.
Well, I don't think she's absolutely terrible. And she's, I like the idea that they put a lady in there that has played the game. It's definitely not the same game, but it's a game that's similar. No. And she says some things that aren't terrible. I don't know. She's not the worst.
Well, I give no shit. It's like when I coach girls hockey, I didn't differentiate boy hockey players and girl hockey players, just a hockey player.
Yeah.
The demand or the expectations are the same with a D or a V, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
So, but Botterill, with her numbers, what she's done, deserves to be there. Kovalev, I think he's going in too.
Oh, yeah?
About time. Obviously, first ballot guys are Zdeno.
Oh, of course. I mean, everybody knew that guy's getting in the first chance.
There was rumors of Vancouver being the Aquilinis, I think it is, selling the team. Yeah. That would be interesting. It would be interesting if they sold the team and then someone moved them. That would be shocking.
They can't leave.
Oh, Vancouver's not moving, I don't think. I don't think that's...
Oh, I don't think.
You've got you've got a good fan base there that supports the team. It's not like
Like,
it's not like
especially in
fucking
Vancouver.
Winnipeg where you're getting
No.
7,000 fans some nights.
They're only getting 7,000 fans some nights.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were doing really well. I thought they had a great season, and
They had a good season, but the team isn't being supported very well.
oh, that's interesting. I don't know much about Winnipeg at all as a city, so yeah, it's full. It's full every time you go to.
Speaking
You
of
could have
listeners,
said like there's probably a part of Winnipeg. Like if I wanted to get shanked in Vancouver, I'd go to Hastings Street or like Wally. But it's not the whole city. Come on, there's got to be good parts of Winnipeg.
who knows?
Manitoba's. I've been to Manitoba, and in the summer, there's some nice spots in Manitoba. Clear Lake, the Peg.
It's like any prairie province. There's there's Drumheller in Alberta. All of a sudden, there's huge gorge river running through it. And there's places all through the prairies. Like they're just very few and far between. It's not like being on the West Coast and just throwing a fishing line into a mud puddle and fish.
Yeah. Though I will say that there's a ton of lakes in Manitoba that are also famous.
Oh fuck yeah, northern Manitoba, 100%.
Yeah,
even southern. Well, it's right above Minnesota. I guess you're right. Minnesota, 10,000, right?
Yeah. There's I think Winnipeg's got a huge amount of lake fishing.
I take that back. I was thinking more Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Even
Alberta,
yeah,
northern Alberta, northern Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
kick-ass lakes. If you're a lake guy.
If you're a lake guy.
I've
never really been.
I like lakes. Bigger ocean guy though.
I just like anywhere I can throw a fishing rod. So
I'm pretty big into my ocean stuff.
But speaking of listeners, I had a buddy. He was at my wedding party. We grew up pipelining together, and we'd seen each other a 3 years ago, but it was just quick, a hug. And their company was trying to acquire our company, and we got to hug in the boardroom a little bit. I hadn't seen him since then, so it's probably about 10 or 15 years. Hung out, but he's got working with a new company now, and he's up looking after northern BC and northern Alberta, and we got to go golf. It's absolutely excellent. He's not very good at golf, but he doesn't play very often. Beside the point, it was a great day. His name is Elliot McMillan. And the reason I'm saying this is he texted me today because he had to drive home from Fort St. John all the way to southern Alberta. And he said, listen to all the pods. And
oh, yeah?
He giggled twice.
Twice?
Just twice. Just
2 times? The whole time?
Just 2 times. That was it.
Wow.
He goes, he's like, I can't hear you guys sometimes.
Yeah.
You talk over each other. He was pretty critical. And this is one of my best friends.
Well, that's kind of douchey, but fair enough.
Pretty
you know
douchey.
What? I was there's like the pro podcasters. There's like the headphones are worn for a reason because I guess that stops somehow from talking over each other. There's something away that the way that the sound go through it when someone's talking and then when they stop or maybe there's a button, I don't know. But
well, me and Bubba are both wearing headphones. You're not wearing headphones?
No, I don't have headphones.
That's why you keep talking over top of us all.
I guess I got to get headphones. I think I need to go get a new setup. It's on my list. Maybe when I go on holidays this year, and I'm in Ontario, Toronto, find something.
We got to figure that out. So you go on holidays, I go on holidays. We already figured it out that being on holidays and trying to do the podcast
just doesn't work. No.
So I think we need to know when each other are on holidays, and we'll bring in somebody, a third, to sit in with us. Maybe bring Riley back, or there's some other guys. We got a guest next week to get everybody's panties in a bunch, and excited. But we do have another guest coming.
Oh, who's this?
Yeah, we can't tell everybody here now. It's Big Sat.
Oh,
proud.
so okay.
Like, it's big.
It's big.
Huge.
Oh, huge.
It's not our white whale, so to speak, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Excited about it.
I know 8 people that know him that are
all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 3 apps.
Okay.
Do we got anything else? Or are we running out of shit?
No, I think we're. I mean, time wise, we're pretty okay. So.
Yeah, I think we're good. Good. I think we had a lot of hockey talk today. Hey, good job, guys.
I agree. And Dale, deep. You went deep. Proud of you, man. I am. Like I was listening to you talk. Jeez, I wouldn't have thought.
Oh, there you go.
Good. Bubba, yours was average at best.
Thanks, Fully. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, my brother. You know, when you knock out of the park, do I always tell you?
Yeah, you do.
I always tell you, you're wicked. And when you're average, do I tell you?
Yep.
And when you're below average,
definitely tell me.
Definitely tell you. Same. That's why when we coached together, you were one of the only guys that you and the redhead, because when you thought I was an idiot, you told me.
Yep.
You know, Neil would scream at me. It was different, but you know, we had our own dynamic. It was good.
Way to tell someone that you love them.
Yeah.
The squirrel.
I believe that's important.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. Well, this was number 18. It was a good night, or good afternoon, I should say. Whenever you guys hear this, it'll be your time. But thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Dale. Or sorry, Impaler. But
yeah.
I got to watch that, eh?
Dale's fine, whatever. It is what.
You're an important person in this world. I'd hate to see anything happen just because of one comment.
Yeah.
Or being associated with one comment. Bubba, thank you guys both, and take us away, Bubs.
All right. This has been episode 18 of the Barium Podcast. You can catch our podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Thanks, everybody, for listening.